Welcome, my name is Cassie. I hope you're having a good day or had a good day wherever you may be in this world. Today I am going to test out a brand new to me, not brand new to the makeup world, brand new to me, primer and foundation. The primer that I'm going to be using is the Becca EverMatte Poreless Priming Perfector and the Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I do apply them both on camera and then I go off camera and do the rest of my face and come back on and let you know how I felt about everything that applied on top of the foundation and primer and all of that, just to see how everything worked together. I do give you my thoughts on how I felt about the primer, how I felt about it alone, and how I feel about the foundation, if I'm going to use it with other things, if I'm going to return it. But this is not a check-in type of video, so I will let you guys know down below in the description box how I felt about it completely before removing it off at the end of the night. If you would like to see how this primer and foundation works on somebody with oily skin and large pores, then you already know what to do and keep on watching. And also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because it is free and we all love free things unless you're like a diamond in the rough that doesn't mind free things, but I mean, like, everybody loves free things. Okay, anyways, it's not about free things. This is about the foundation, the primer. So yeah, I upload once on Wednesdays and once on Sundays, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Let's just go ahead and hit 1000% realness in 2.2 seconds. Finally got around to doing my sunset look, which is what's on my eyeballs right now. But today is not focused on the eye look or the rest of the face. It is testing out another primer and foundation. Now this is not a brand new one. This is the Becca ones that I received in... I actually bought it in my Ulta haul. I have heard for so long that this primer is like one of the best matte primers for oily skin gals, which is me right here. So I'm actually really intrigued to try it. I'm hoping that it works. And then I also bought their foundation. So we're gonna definitely jump right in. I have nothing on my face besides my vitamin C and moisturizer. My niece called me, so I had to answer, and I'm sure my little sisters will call me in about 20 minutes maybe. They usually call me 20 times a day. Anyways, this is the Becca EverMatte Poreless Priming Perfector. And in my video where I hauled this, I said, like, every time I go and buy it online, it's sold out. Every time I go and buy it in store, it's sold out. And there'll be like one left in my store, and then I go and buy it, gone. So I definitely want to try it out because so many people rave about this product. So we're going to read about what it's supposed to do, and then we will go from there. It says, the concentrated EverMatte Poreless Priming Perfector goes beyond extending makeup wear to address the root cause of why your makeup moves. This formula specifically targets oil-prone areas and acts as liquid blotting paper to leave your skin fresh and matte for up to 12 hours. That's good to know. Use alone before or after foundation to control excess oil while minimizing the appearance of pores. Can be used throughout the day to touch up areas of concern. That's actually pretty cool that you can use it throughout the day, but I feel like over powder it might ruin it. To apply, warm a pea-sized amount in hands and pat onto specific areas of concern like the T-zone. Pat. Allow product to dry before following with makeup application. To use as a touch-up throughout the day, warm primer in hands and pat over makeup to target excess oil. Alright, so my areas of concern are mainly my T-zone here, and then also in here. And I like how it's matte and poreless, so it's going to... I just need this one foundation. I only need this one foundation to keep me matte, keep my oils at bay, and to help me fill in my pores. That's what I'm thinking because it says poreless. So we're going to warm up a little pea-sized amount and then pat wherever I need this. I'm assuming that if I rub, it's going to beat up on me, and I don't want that. Okay, so it feels really good. It actually feels super smooth. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. And then you want to allow it to dry. My skin looks really nice with this over top. My pores seem to be covered pretty nicely. The only thing that I'm hoping doesn't happen is that because they're both matte foundation and a matte primer, that they're going to clash and not look nice together. So if that does happen, then I will try a different primer underneath the foundation and try this primer with a different foundation. but we will figure that out. So the foundation that I bought is this Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-Hour Foundation in the shade Noisette. I don't know. I shade matched myself in this one day when I was super bored at work, and this is supposed to be a on the paper, like on the shelf at work, it says matte, but here it's not saying anything. And the first ingredient is dimethicone, which is not the greatest. Foundation Redefined Ultimate Coverage in a surprisingly weightless and breathable cream. A perfectly balanced distribution of pigment and water at high concentrations allows the formula to appear to all skin types. Lightweight and oil-free, it creates a second skin effect of undetectable, flexible coverage with a natural, long-wearing finish. I love second skin foundations. Intense pigment ensures that uneven texture, redness, hyperpigmentation, and other imperfections are concealed. 22% water adds hydration and an elastic finish to prevent pigments from setting in lines, dryness, or pores. One pump to perfection using one pump of foundation and your one perfecting brush or your preferred foundation brush. Sweep across foundation horizontally across forehead. So I don't use a brush like ever for foundation, so I'm going to use my Morphe Beauty Sponge because it's what I always use, and I feel like that's going to be fair. So I will try one pump, but I can guarantee you I'm going to need like 2 or 3 pumps, especially with a beauty sponge. So here's my one pump. It seems pretty thick, but it does match me pretty well. It matches like the rest of my skin, which is pretty awesome. I lied. I am going to try a brush because it almost seems like it's really hard to blend out without a brush. So we're going to try that. And this is the Morphe M439 brush. It's a really good foundation brush. Yeah, so if you're like me and you always use a sponge for this foundation, I wouldn't use a sponge because you're going to use a ton of product. Instead, what you can do is use a brush, kind of like pounce it around everywhere, spread it all out, get the foundation where you need it to be, and then go in with your sponge and pick up any excess product, which is going to help to create a more seamless, flawless foundation look that is going to give you your best results. Honestly, you can use that with any foundation. So for this, I don't need to match my ears because my hair is down. Definitely like the feeling of this foundation already. I like the shade of it. I think that it'll definitely work in my winter skin tone as well. Although I do have to say, this is like the first summer that I have not been out in the sun as much as I normally am because this Texas sun is ridiculous and I'm not used to it. Like, the pool is okay, but I'm miserable out in the sun to get any color, but that's okay because you don't need to be aging. So I definitely love the feeling of this foundation. I love everything about it so far. I am going to look up close before I put the sponge on it just to see if I see any brush strokes or anything like that. And let me just make myself a little bit lighter because I'm getting really dark. I don't want myself to be too dark, but I also don't want myself to be too light. So I'm going to take this little Reiki thing that I got from my Jeffree Star and Lipstick Nick. The color looks really good. I hate the way brushes apply, so we are going to go through with my sponge, and the sponge is going to make it be more of a seamless blend. Okay, so I do like the way that the foundation looked, but I am going to say that the foundation mixed with the primer I don't think are becoming a hit. Like, they're not meshing as one, which I completely understand because this is a really matte foundation. So I'm going to try it with the Born This Way one day and see how that works, because this just may be drying my skin out a little bit too much before I go ahead and put my foundation on. So I will try this foundation with a different primer because so far I love the way that it feels. I love the way it looks. I love the shade on me. So there's just a little bit spots of like concern where I don't think that it looks good, but that could also be the primer. Now, if this was a hydrating primer and then I used a pore filler, I wouldn't have that thought, but because it is mattifying, I do have that thought. It doesn't look awful. My pores definitely look good. I'm not going to do the whole 24-hour test because it's already like 4 o'clock. Definitely leave the way that I feel about it and how long I had it on in the description box down below. So I am definitely going to keep you guys updated. It's just not going to be a wear test video. It's kind of just like first impressions type of thing. And then I will update you guys probably the end of September or whenever I feel like it. I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to apply my concealer, powder, all the rest of that, and I will let you know how everything applied on my skin. So now that the whole world can see inside of my room, which is super awkward because people can just look upstairs and see that I'm filming, which is weird. But so the lipstick that I have on is a mixture of the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks in the shade Anna Nicole and Flamethrower. So Flamethrower is What's Everywhere, and then I put Anna Nicole is everywhere, and then Flamethrower is right in the middle where I blended it out with my finger. Everything went on pretty well. I actually took my time for some reason doing my makeup, which normally I'm like in a hurry, but it just goes to show that your makeup looks so much better if you actually just take your time, which I don't normally do. I really do love the way that this whole makeup look looks. I love that I was finally able to do a sunset, but with the powders on top and everything blended out really nicely, and I really do love the way that my face looks up close. It's not super powdery, it's not super cakey whatsoever. It just looks really nice and it doesn't feel too heavy. I can definitely feel like I have makeup on. It's not like the Urban Decay one where it's very weightless and second skin like. It definitely does have that second skin feel, but it's not like I can still kind of feel it, but it's not like that gross, heavy, cakey feeling that most people do not like. So yeah, this look, I love the whole entire look. I think that the foundation is going to do really well with other primers as well as with this one, but I probably wouldn't pair it with this primer constantly whenever I use it. But I do feel like the primer would be really well on its own. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this foundation try-on, first impression review type of thing. It is pouring out. It is literally pouring. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.